What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's been a few days. As I said yesterday, I put out a community post saying that I was going to come on last night, but there was literally nothing happening. And still 24 hours later, there's still nothing happening. So I thought I'd just come on, see how people are doing, see where people are in terms of this window, give my thoughts on where we are in this window so far. And just little bits of news here and there, because I'll tell you, there is absolutely no concrete links to our football club. Not one. There's not one. We started out the window hot and heavy with links here, there, and everywhere from reputable sources, by the way. But now, whew, it's hard out here. It's hard out here. But listen, you know the drill, people. Please hit the like before as you come in, or if you're watching the replay, and of course subscribe to the channel, and yeah, drop your comments and keep stay tuned to the channel. Please hit the notification bell, so you know when any upload is coming. You never know what's coming on this channel. You never know. T85 saying put Uncle Phil in charge of recruitment. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. And Jamie, that's classic, gold classic Fresh Prince. Yeah, honestly, it's the only thing I could think of, and it's a shame I can't find a higher quality image. I know it's a little bit grainy, but people that know Fresh Prince know exactly what the thumbnail's about. But it's like I'm looking around and thinking, hey man, where's the signings? There's not even like an under 21 signing we could get our teeth into. Wait, pause. But there's nothing going on here. And I know Daniel Farke said that we're not asleep, but at the moment it feels like we're snoring a little bit, I mean, I'm a big snorer, so I've snored the house down, but you know how it goes. Lee Goldup saying we are acting too slow in the window, and I don't care what the happy clappers say, you can still do business quicker than this. It's not impossible. Lee, we could have had this lined up for the first. We could have had this left back lined up for the first, and then Sam Byram can take his place on the right, and we have balance. And I'm going to speak about a midfielder that Southampton have signed, but it's not so much that other teams are making signings, it's that they're getting the needs. So if they've had a gap, Ipswich have signed a player on loan from Blackburn. I think it's Travers. Actually, Joe Rothwell going to Southampton. He's an ex-Blackburn player. But they're fulfilling their needs in their squad, and right now it doesn't seem that we're doing anything about it. And it's we're on the 16th of January, people, and even I'm looking at this, and I tell you, I've calmed down a lot over the years, and I think you can tell. If anyone was with me when we was in the Premier League, it was with Bielsa, and I think we lost a cup game to FA Cup game to West Ham. I did a match reaction for that one, and there was like 3 minutes worth of the match, and the rest of the video was, where's the signings, man? Why have we got no signings? This team needs help. Well, I wasn't as out of my mind like that, but it was close. It was close. But right now, I'm just thinking, what they're doing? What are they doing? Gavin here saying Peru seen training at right back. Well, listen, he's basically played centre back at this stage, and now he's holding the bench. Why not try him at right back? Who knows, eh? Shout out to you, Gavin. Chris, shout out to you, Chris, man. You always make me laugh. Jose. Yeah, man. Listen, the king, he's out. And I was thinking, Chris, not like you thinking we could get Jose Mourinho in the championship. I was thinking, hey, Jose, just hold off until the summer, and see if a big team gets promoted, and maybe you could rebuild your reputation in England there. But nah. I think he's probably going to go after Saudi, Chris. So, that Jose dream. But imagine getting Jose Mourinho, man. Oh, Lord. Karen here saying, never mind where's Wally, where's our signings. I mean, it's unbelievable. Really, it really is unbelievable. In fact, let me just say this, because Karen, you remind me. Karen Curtin, Mr. P, John Abbott, thanks for your super thanks on the last video. I didn't do that at the start, so thank you for that. John saying, hi KG, hope you are. I'm good, man. I'm good, feeling good, smelling good, and I hope you all are too, man. I know in the land of Leeds United, everything is still. In fact, there's more whispers of players leaving the club rather than coming in. It's all mad. It's absolutely all mad. Darren here saying maybe they're waiting for their targets to be available. There's people available, Darren. I mentioned one before that was laughed at, by the way, but still, Callum Chambers has officially been made available by Aston Villa. They need to move wages off their wage bill. I would happily take Callum Chambers here in our position, just purely from what we've seen so far with the way that we've played. Callum Chambers would be a solid addition at right back. I know he's had a bit of injury history previously, but the way that we are usually in control of the ball. It's just when we get suckered on the counter attack or when teams do actually come forward, I would have no problem with Callum Chambers being a signing for Leeds United at fullback. But I think, but I don't see it happening just purely because we've got Sam Byram, who I think will move back in to the right back spot. But then I think he'll always use Archie Gray as the makeshift right back. So I don't see that kind of happening. But left back, it's all quiet, people. Martin Ark and Jose play left back. um, Gavin here saying Doig. I do want to get onto that. I mean, it's all over the place. Josh Doig. Let me just get the things up here. Right. Okay. Yeah, Josh Doig, who we thought was gone to Marseille. They had a deadline set. Marseille didn't receive the green light for it. So you know what Marseille did, people? They didn't hang around. They went to the young boys instead, the football club, and got Ulcis Garcia, and he is now their left back. So they moved on from Josh Doig. That is all over for them. And Josh Doig is available again. And this was an update today in regards to him. Update: Josh Doig's move to Marseille looks to be off after Verona missed the deadline set by the French club. Marseille made a 4.3 million bid. That's a crazy value for this player. Ah, man. Sky Sports understand that a deadline for the deal was close to be made Friday night, and Verona allowed it to pass. And then this Marseille fan site has gone into even more detail as to why Verona held off, and they were doing another deal, which meant that they were asking for more for Josh Doig. But 4.3 people is this is an investment that you make now and will benefit you next season as well. This is a no-brainer. This should be done. But again, our name was first linked with him. Even Fabrizio put it there, but we haven't been linked with Josh Doig for a little bit now. So yeah, it's a shame. But 4.3 is smashing value for this player. Trust me. All he's saying was a very good player for Hibs. Yeah, and you could, with all due respect, and please don't take it this way, but win the Scottish League, you can always tell when there's players that could possibly make it in higher level leagues. And he's done that in Italy already. Verona are not the best team in Italy, but he has been a steady presence there when he hasn't been injured. So he would be somebody that I would happily take for now, the championship. And if we are to get promoted to the Premier League, I'd have no qualms about him playing Premier League football. I like him. I don't know if he's going to have the potential like him, but I think of him like an Aaron Hickey along that lines. If you want to go Scottish for Scottish, I think he's got that kind of potential. Let's have a look. Yeah, Richard Ruff saying, KG, I don't think we're going to sign anyone. Farke is happy with the squad until the players lose form, get injured, and then we are trouble and we cannot sign anyone. Yeah. I mean, Daniel Farke said many times that he's happy with the squad, but even he said in the last press conference, Richard and everyone else, that there are obvious places that we need to strengthen. So, I mean, we've already seen Daniel Farke say one thing 1 month and then, completely different thing another, Charlie Creswell. But he did say that the last things that he said was that we're not going to make it publicly know what we need. But if you look at our squad, there are glaring, obvious, deficiencies in there. So he knows. I just don't know why it's taking so long. Signing a fullback, this is a Leeds United thing. I don't know why we make it so hard to sign a fullback. I really don't. I seriously don't. Gavin here saying, I still see us signing 1 or 2 max. Yeah, look, I think when it comes to it, I mean, the 16th, this is far too long, by the way. But I think by the end of the month, that's usually when all the panic sets in, all the deals usually go through when teams haven't done enough business or what they should have done. And maybe we'll see some movement there. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be impressed with people. And I say it right now. If we sign a winger, that does not impress me. I don't need to see another winger, especially if we're not losing another winger. What do we need another winger for? That just makes zero sense to me. It doesn't look like we're selling Patrick Bamford. So at this point, I don't see the point in buying another striker, just on the logistics of having Bamford and Peru available. And of course, Mateo Joseph. Unless one of those are leaving, no point going for a striker. We have deficiencies in defense. Get it done. And I always wonder with this as well, talking about no links or anything, people. We haven't seen one link for 10 clean sheet, rejected a 20 million bid in the summer, Elan Melier. Why is that? Why has there been no interest in a young talented goalkeeper by all means? And a deal being made to take him away. I mean, that is a deal that I would do with my eyes closed, by the way. I just think it's easy money. You only need an average goalkeeper in this division. You only need an average one. So if you can get near 15 to 20 for Eli Melier, strengthen the rest of the outfield group. Oh my lord. You're laughing. You're absolutely laughing, people. Ryan, if Carlsberg tries to win those. Um, Mr. Dodo, tremendous name. It was Orta and his obsession with wingers. He's gone now, so probably won't sign a winger ever again. You can say that, Mr. Dodo, but when we lost Sinistera, the most obvious thing that they could have done is say to Bournemouth, look, I know you've taken Cine, but have you got a fullback we can use? That would have been the most, you know, for the squad, that would have been the most balanced thing to do. But instead, they just went for another winger. Just say, all right, Jaden Anthony, all right, we'll take him. Just so we don't look silly here, you know? So for me, they still didn't address that there. They could have gotten a defender on loan then as well. Direct, yep, I hear you. Melier stock collapsed last year, and I'm telling you, when I say to people that there was Manchester United interested in this goalkeeper at one stage, you'd never believe it. But I believed in Melier as well. I fully believed in this guy. But listen, you know what? If the Premier League carry on, I don't know if anyone saw the Burnley versus Luton game. Did everyone see that one? If they're allowing players to back into goalkeepers the way that what happened to James Trafford, Melier's got no chance in the Premier League. I think he's got little chance at this point in time anyway. But imagine him getting bounced in the Premier League. It's over, people. It's over. But yeah, his stock has definitely gone down. But if the CEO Angus is saying that they rejected interest and bids for him in the summer, why can we not reignite that in January and get some funds in? We obviously do need the money. Um, So Russ saying we better not bring any of the Muppets who jump ship back. Game Russ, not seen anything of it or heard anything of the sort. Don't even know if these players have got recall options in their contracts, unless the loaning club and the player, say Brendan Aronson and his club, just agree to sever ties. But even then, I expect Brendan Aronson to have another move lined up for him to go elsewhere. Sinistera would be different, of course, because he played for us and he's played for Bournemouth, so he would have to play. But I've heard no whispers of Sinistera coming back to Leeds either. So until something concrete happens, we'll deal with it then. But just assume that Sinistera is staying at Bournemouth for the rest of the season. Um, Darren saying we could sign De Gea as Melier replacement. I mean, wow. Sean, bemused by this window. I know the 49ers move in silence, but this is almost ridiculous. Yeah, Sean, and I maintain I'm not being a hypocrite. I like the way the 49ers do business. I really do. But I just want to see action now. I want to see the official account say ready for a signing, and then everyone lose their mind. I want to see something like that now. But we're not getting anything. We're getting zero. And even the links that we got from journalists that have got the players unwanted at other clubs, they're not mentioning us no more. So it does make you wonder. Yeah, Gavin, FFP is definitely a real thing. You've seen it this month. There's not a lot of transfers going on. I'm not asking for Leeds United to go out and spend 20 million here and there. Not even close. But a 4 million bid for Josh Doig, that's in our capabilities. With the parachute payments and everything else, we should be able to get a deal like that done. If he wants to come here, though, I don't know, because we've seen him now. He's gone to Italy. He tried to move to France. I think he might be going on a little European adventure in his early 20s, and I can respect that. But I don't know. We need to get to the table in order to speak to him first. I mean, you guys are saying De Gea is not coming to a championship club, people. I mean, I just maybe you guys are playing Football Manager. I don't know. I don't know. Ryan here saying maybe what Farke said about only an emergency, he meant it. Yeah, this is the one time I wish he was playing poker with us, Ryan. But you know what? We'll only know at the end of this month. That will be the true test when we know at the end of this month when the window's closed. Because all we've done this month, people, is lose players. And doesn't matter what you think of them ability wise, we've lost two right backs in Spence and Ailing and had zero come in. Nothing has come in. Gavin here saying, I'm convinced somebody needs Furpo. But even then, if Furpo, let's go Furpo along the same lines of Bamford. If Furpo's not going anywhere, okay, he's now a left back option. Cool. So now that should allow Byram to start at right back, once he's fully fit. And I think he must be fit. He was on the bench. And then that gives us Archie Gray in midfield. Because look, here, people, Joe Rothwell going to Southampton. I say this: I'm not concerned about that. I think it's good for Southampton that they're bolstering their midfield ranks, but I'm more than happy with our midfield options. I think midfield is one of our strongest areas. Ampadu, Gruev, Kamara, Archie Gray. Listen, I've got no complaints about our midfield, but it's the fact that they're getting their needs met in terms of getting something for their squad that they need, and we haven't. That's the thing that's really frustrating for me. Um, Oh, I see. Okay, direct. I know De Gea won't come. De Gea won't come. Just would take him if he did. Okay. Gavin Parry saying a new right back equals 2 signings because Rachi gets back to 8. Oh God, see, we're gonna do that. What if an injured player comes back? It's like a new signing. No, I want to see some new signings come in because we need it. If we was top of the league, people, and we had no deficiencies in our squad, I wouldn't care about this window. But we do need players quite clearly as well. Okay, Darren was just okay. All right, sorry. It's hard to tell by the words. I'm afraid, Darren. But yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So yeah, you see Southampton above us. They've strengthened and cool. What is next? I've got something next on the docket. There really isn't a lot, people. Telling you, I'm just really checking in with y'all, see how you doing. See if y'all good. But yeah, Charlie Creswell. Speaking of him, I mean, the rumor came from the Sun, so I don't know how much importance you put into that, but they're saying that Blackburn and Millwall are interested and are looking at a possible deal. Leeds United would want a fee, of course, but would be looking for significant add-ons. So that again, that's another player that is being linked out in a position that we are severely weakened in. But Charlie Creswell quite clearly doesn't have a future at this football club when at the weekend, yet again, he's not even in the squad. So, yeah, I mean, until that's said by a few more reputable sources, I'm not really going to go into it too much. But I think the writing really is on the wall for Charlie Creswell. Martin Peters, would you take Casper back as he is available? Who's Casper? Martin, just tell me who Casper is, please, because I don't recall a player. The only player called Casper that I remember us having is the midfielder, the Danish midfielder. I don't remember a Casper. I'm sorry. Um, it's Casper with a K. Casper with a K. Right. Okay. Yeah, that threw me off. Casper Schmeichel at 30. I would 100% take Casper Schmeichel. I was actually so disappointed when he left us the first time. Really, man, he was so good. And you know what? You could only see he was getting better. He was getting better. And it was the year that we ran out of gas. We didn't make any signings in the January window, and I think we finished 7th that year. But you could see he was going to be a top goalkeeper, and he definitely did. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is he still on a free? I don't think he's coming back anyway because, well, the Leeds fans kind of made it impossible for him to turn back up, and he was all mad, innit? Your dad's something, and so are you, and all that. He's not coming back here, people. But yeah, listen, Schmeichel, absolutely brilliant goalkeeper. Imagine that. I remember him. That's so long ago. Oh man, imagine that. Oh my lord. Yeah. Something else in regards to a current player, and it's not really news. I think it's pretty obvious, but this is from Phil Hayes' article and just his thought on Liam Cooper and just the rumblings he's heard that Liam Cooper probably won't be offered a new deal, which makes sense. And the bulk of it is basically that the conscious decision is that most of the remaining members of Bielsa's title winners are far beyond their peak of their powers. Brother, I was telling you this 2 years ago, but you know what it is? You know what it is, people. You know how it goes. But I think just because Liam Cooper's been playing a few games, I think a few people are worried that he might get a new deal and we get another sentimental year. But I didn't see it happening. I think he's just purely the senior backup option while he's under contract. I think it's a clean break in the summer with Liam Cooper. And I think it's right for everybody because he can't play at this level anymore. You know, every time he steps in, I know Daniel Farke says he hasn't let him down, but your eyes don't lie to you, people. Your eyes don't lie to you. It can be the most average player. They just breeze past him like he's not there. It's hard to watch. It really is hard to watch. And I say that not from a get him out, he's not good enough. I say it from a sympathetic point of view, as in he's actually finished at this football club, but you know, he's trying his best, he's giving it 100%. But hey, listen, people give 100% in a lot of things, but it's not good enough. So yeah, Gary Loader saying madness of some Leeds fans again. Are you talking about the Schmeichel chant? Yeah, man. I think it just closed any door possible for a reunion. Why would you come back? I wouldn't come back. Uh, yeah, Gavin saying Cooper playing fewer games every season. It just makes zero sense. The only reason you keep him around is just for the seniority thing. He's a captain. He's been captain for a while. It would not be on playing ability, not even a smidge. It's not even a smidge on playing ability because he's at this point in time, when you see him in the lineup, you're thinking there could be not even a mistake. He could just get walked around because it's happened in many games. And that's the kind of thing that we've got with Firpo right now. And I've seen a lot of Firpo praise, and that's cool. But even against the poorer teams with Firpo, he's still managed to foul them in places where it doesn't really need to be a foul. They're not tactical fouls. They're just because he's not defensively sound. As many people keep saying, Firpo is more like a left winger these days. And that's about right. His assist numbers, and that's where stats can get you messed up because his assist numbers since he's come back in are good. But defensively, woo, brother, get me a left back that does both. And that's why, if for whatever reason we do not bring in a left back, and we will have that conversation if that happens, it's Sam Byram as the starter for me. Easy money as well, as long as he's fit. Ali here saying, is it just me that doesn't think Cooper is much of a leader? Always looks quiet for me for a captain. Ali, what I will say is it's more off the pitch stuff. And I've heard stuff about this where he is just a real good guy around the place for the community, everything else like that. Everything else like that is 100% cool in terms of Liam Cooper. Yes, he's not the shouty type, you know, he's not the Roy Keane or, you know, kind of captain where he's shouting on the pitch, but it's more the stuff behind the scenes, you know, leading by example kind of thing. But when you take that away, the ability, it's not there, I'm afraid. So I'll give him all the credit in the world for his leaderships behind the scenes, you know, but on the pitch, it's time to go elsewhere. And I think we've already done that already with Pascal and even recently Ampadu. And those are great choices for me, especially Ampadu. Ryan here saying, if we sign someone, I think it will be just to please the fans. Farke just seems so content with the squad. I just don't see the 49ers operating like that, Ryan. I think if they wanted to please the fans, they're not blind. They would have seen the whispers, they would have seen the articles, they would have seen, you know, how the fans have been. I think they would have got someone in already, Ryan, if that was the case. And that's a very dangerous slope to go on. That's what the last ownership did. They tried to please the passion merchant fans too much, which is why we're back in this division. That's the biggest reason why we're back in this division, because we didn't do the business that we should have done. So I don't see them doing that, but I think they'll do smart business. But please, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Martin here following up saying we can't not bring in a left back. That would be very negligent by the club and would show no ambition to get automatic. Yeah, and that's a question, isn't it? Does everyone believe that this team will get promoted with all the pressure that's on this football club via the playoffs? It's I know that on paper we're one of the best teams, but pressure in these situations, we've seen it already, it's completely different. And no one in the playoffs that will be in the top, you know, playing each other would have more pressure on them than Leeds United. Not one team, not one of them. So they go in there thinking, yeah, this is a crapshoot. If we go up, cool. If not, we'll try again next year. But Leeds United, we're under the pressure of, if we don't go up, well, Somerville buy, Jorginho buy, and everyone else, and then it's bringing in average players to replace them. Yeah, Gavin, Farke did say we need to keep up our ambitions, last pressure additions. Yeah. Direct saying we bottle playoffs. I always believe that history is there to be broken, but I always think about what it is currently. And there is no way when you're in Leeds United's football team, you can't feel the pressure. especially at Ellen Road, man. It's a pressure cooker. It is so different compared to playing if say Ipswich get into the playoffs. You know, if Southampton jump above them permanently, it's completely different. Um, Leeds saying hard to believe we're going up through the playoffs with this squad, not because of the squad. They are definitely good enough. I agree. Leedsy playoff trauma making me doubt. Yeah, yeah. There's always that, isn't there? There's always that. Jack here saying, "Don't go up, and we'll be down here for years again." That's the worry for me, Jack. I've said it so many times that you lose the talent in this team, and you become another championship team, much like West Brom, Norwich, and everyone else. And that's what we've got to fight against. That's why the recruitment has to be on the money this month. But again, okay, SJ44 thumbnail Freeman KG. Look, it is what it is, man. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Um, Direct saying, I agree, the pressure is too much. That Derby game was insane, but we could have gone up very quickly after the last relegation, and we bottled that too. Yeah, we did. Yeah, 3-0 against Watford. Yeah, yeah. The thing was, I'll be real with you, Dar. I didn't think we were going to win that game because I thought Watford were the better team anyway. So the expectation for me is different in that way. I didn't expect us to win that game. Watford were the better side, quite clearly as well. The 3-0 scoreline proved it. Also, if you go back, no, go forward a little bit to the Doncaster game, we weren't as good as Doncaster. I think it was Doncaster. I could be talking about the Johnson's Paint here. I'm pretty sure it's the Doncaster. Guys, you might have to help me out with this bit because the League One years a little bit muddy. I was doing different things at that time. Let me just say. So I think it was Doncaster in the final. But who's that player that played for him forever, man? He was there until he was like 42. He was brilliant in that league. He was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Tintin, our record is in playoffs are bad, but records are there to be broken, of course. And Darren, of course, playoffs are always a lottery. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and Direct here saying agree. What for a good team that day? Yeah, they were miles ahead of us. They were miles better, absolutely miles better. But yeah, just before we head off, I just want to ask people now, and obviously put your comments in the chat. We've won 3 games. Doesn't matter the opposition. We've won them 3-0 each, but there's still questions about Daniel Farke in light of the lack of tactical changes we've seen again, even in the last game. Nonto, other players getting 1 minute as subs. The Charlie Creswell thing, the Jed Spence thing, whether he's right or wrong. What is the general feeling about Daniel Farke? Are we asking for too much, or is he doing the best that he can right now with the current squad he's got? Because for someone that's won 3 games in a row, three clean sheets, 3 goals, you would think that this guy we was in 16th place. But the thing is, I understand what people are saying, but I just want to get the general feel of Daniel Farke right now. Yeah, and while you're doing that, please hit the like if you haven't already. Please do that for me. It really does help out the streams. Desiree, he's not the man, KG. Okay, yeah. Direct saying Farke has some serious flaws. Yeah, we've seen that. 100. Andy, though, saying overall good job. Yeah. Martin saying, put it this way: if Jose said yes, I'll bring him. I take Jose every day of the week. Jose is my guy. I do a 24-hour stream, people. I do a 24-hour stream. Martin are saying Ipswich make 3 subs at 60 minutes. They're invigorated. We go to sleep with no subs. Yeah, that's why we don't press and kill teams off. We don't do substitutes, tactical changes properly. Jack saying I'm skeptical about Farke's ability if we do get up. Me too, Jack. 100%. James. Yeah, Neil. Thank you, James Coppinger. That was the player. Yeah, he was levels above everyone in that division at the time. Clem is saying I'm happy with him at the moment. Okay. And Tintin, though, adding on, if we don't sort our left back, centre back, it will be our downfall. It will. We can't keep on doing what we're doing, playing the same 11, little changes, and then when someone goes out, putting in, yeah, it won't be sustainable for the second half of the season. Ali here saying underperforming with this team. Southampton went through a bad patch, so I'm not buying the summer excuse. I agree with you there, Ali. I've completely written off the first month thing now. We've had more than enough games, so I'm with you there. But playing a proper number 9 looks to have changed things. We'll see. We shall see. Because there's also, if that number 9 stays fit. If he stays fit and does what he's doing, we could be okay. But you've got to go with recent history. And yeah, we're just one little breakdown from Patrick Bamford. And We're back to Peru playing number 6 again. Um, Karen saying, I have doubts on Farke. Yeah. Jack, though, saying Roden gets injured, then forget promotion. Could be as simple as that. But that's because we got no legitimate backups. And the one backup we do have, you don't like him no more. And Darren here saying, and this is, yeah, it is a great point. Still not convinced the opponents were weak. Yeah. I always say you can only beat who's in front of you. And that is always a valid thing. But we've also lost against those kind of teams as well in Preston and things like that. But yeah, the opponents weren't the best. We'll see against the better opposition, I guess. Yeah, direct saying Archie Gray goes in the summer too if we don't go up. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned in the video before, which shout out to everyone that did watch that one. People think because his name's Archie Gray and he's got lineage here at the football club that he's just going to stay. I'm afraid in 2024, football doesn't work like that, and he's got far too much interest in him from Ange, Klopp, Dortmund, and various other clubs to stay and play Plymouth again next season. It's just not going to happen, people. Um, Direct saying modern managers need to be able to handle rotation, and Farke doesn't. Yeah, I mean, listen, you get all kinds of comments, of course, on doing these kind of things, which is cool. But somebody mentioned that Billy Bremlin never needed to get subbed, so these players should be okay. And it's like, I mean, there's just no context behind that, because in that case, then the players should still be smoking and drinking before and after games. Things like things change through time, and sports science and everything else that the footballers may have been better back in the day, but they've never been fitter than they are now. And there's reasons for that. And it's because of managing their workloads and everything else like that. You do have to rotate. You do need to use the squad, especially if you're expecting them to stay. You can't not play them and then say, no, they're staying because we need a full squad. But Gaffer, you don't play me. It doesn't make sense. Really doesn't make sense. Gavin here saying Ange building something special at Spurs. He is. He is. Maybe Tottenham have had a lot of false dawns, but maybe this is the real one. Nidar saying Bielsa managed to keep KP for another championship season, but I doubt Farke could convince Archie. Yeah, and listen, yeah, Calvin, we was going to get one more year out of him. That was it. And if we didn't go up that second time, he was gone. And I think everyone accepted that. I think people think that Archie may stay another year, and that could happen, people. But oh man, when I tell you that the interest in him is absolutely high, it's even bigger. I think it's even bigger than Calvin, because Archie at this point is still a teenager. There's so much to work with. Calvin was like, what is he, 23, 24 at the time? There's so much interest in him, and there was a lot of clubs that would pay the money to get Archie Gray out of there. Maybe he'd come back on loan. Maybe we could do a Jack Clark thing, and this one be successful this time where Archie comes back on loan. But I can definitely see something happening if we don't go up. I would love him to stay, don't get me wrong, but the whispers are just too loud, absolutely too loud. Let's have a look. Okay, Andy here saying maybe the second half of the season, Farke knows who's who and their ability. So maybe now Leeds will do the push and fire in all cylinders. Fingers crossed, because Farke has already done this twice. Yeah, again, he's done it with Norwich, which is a completely different kettle of fish. But listen, after the Gruev performance, which looking back at it again was really, really good. Maybe he trusts him a bit more to start a few more games. Maybe he will rotate Ampadu and Kamara when necessary and bring Gruev in. But the thing we need as well is Archie Gray to play that 8/10 hybrid role, so we got a bit more creativity in there, and another shooter, because Archie Gray loves to shoot. So now Gruev seems to be trusted. Looks like we've got a legitimate midfield option there, because he didn't use him the first half of the season. People, you could count the minutes on two hands how many times Gruev played. So it's good that Gruev is now a legitimate option. Maybe he does use the squad a bit more, but listen, you got to go by form. He doesn't change it unless there's a need. Gavin here, KP looks stuck on City's bench. He does, but again, just because one player moves and is stuck on the bench doesn't mean another is, if we're referring to Archie Gray. And Big Ange, unlike the previous managers at Tottenham, does play younger players. So I think he would have a need for Archie Gray to play if he was to go to Spurs. So yeah, it's one of those, one size doesn't fit all when it comes to transfers. And Gavin also follows on. Let's back Farke now. No real alternative at this time. Well, Chris Kingy would tell you there's Steve Cooper and now Jose Mourinho. So there are alternatives, Gavin. Yeah, Ray saying it was Doncaster. I was there. Thank you so much, Ray. Memory's a little hazy from those times because I wasn't fully engrossed in football at the time. But listen, different time, different time. Yeah, Tintin saying love grows balls over the top. Well, pause on that. But yes, excuse spelling. No problem, Tintin. But yeah, he is good, man. I give him credit. Maybe he was playing with a little bit within himself and in the Stoke game. He looked very, very basic. But in the last game, and even the one before, when he was trying something different, it only happened a few times, but he was putting in balls over the top to release the strikers. And he's the one player that in our midfield that does that right now. Even though I do think Archie would do that if he was allowed to play in that position. But yeah, listen, people, that is it. That is really it. There really isn't a lot. So I just wanted to get in touch, give you little bits and pieces that are going on around us, in and around us. Get your thoughts on Daniel Farke as well at this point of the season. And yeah, listen, we need certain people. But like I say, stay tuned to the channel this week, please, because you never know what's coming up. You never know what's coming. So yeah, stay tuned. Stick together for the final push. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. But listen, before I go, you know the drill, people. If you haven't already, please hit a like on the video, subscribe, and of course, drop your comments below. And thank you for everyone that is a member who donate super thanks. Really does mean a lot. Goes back into the channel, goes back into my development as well. Equipment, everything else like that. It goes into all kinds of things. So thank you for your donations. And listen, people, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.